All all right, good evening, Veterans Yoga Project. My name is Theresa. I am a soldier that is stationed here at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and I'm also a yoga instructor. And I really am happy that you all came out tonight. So this is a 45-minute gentle yoga class. There's no necessary props for the practice. If you do want to use any blocks or pillows or blankets that you might have to help with the practice, you can absolutely use those as well. So we'll go ahead and just remember that throughout the practice, really honor your body, acknowledging that sometimes our body changes from day to day, and we might feel more flexible, more mobile one day, and the next day maybe not. And that's okay. Our body changes from day to day. So we'll go ahead and we're going to start off this practice on our backs. So go ahead and find your way down slowly onto your back, and go ahead and just hug the knees into the chest. Go ahead and rock side to side. Bring the forehead up towards the knees. Gently release the head and the feet back down to the mat. And then go ahead and just take that right foot and take it right up to the sky and flex and point. Rotate the ankles. Switching directions. And bring that foot gently back down. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Go ahead and bring that left leg up. Point and flex. Rotate the ankle. Gently bring the foot back down. Let's bring our arms out to a T or maybe goalpost arms, depending on how much space you have. And then go ahead, just let the knees fall over towards the right. Option to hike the hip under a little bit. Gentle twist here. You can take that right hand and gently set it on the knee, but go ahead and gaze over the opposite hand. Come back to center. Let the knees fall over towards the left. Gazing over the right hand. Gently bring it back to center. Hug the knees in towards the chest. And then stretch the legs out long, the arms out long. Really stretch those fingers and those toes, pulling the whole body. And then bring it back in like a ball. Hug it in. Stretch it back out. One more time, bring it back in. Bring it back out, stretch it out, and roll to the side. Use a hand, press yourself to a seated position on your mat. Finding an easy seat, whatever's comfortable for you, bringing the feet in towards the inner part of the body, bringing the hands down to our sides. We'll inhale the right arm up. As you exhale, start to lean, feel the stretch through your side. Bring the hand back down. Inhale, opposite arm up. Exhale, start to lean. Bring it back down. On every inhale, one arm comes up. Every exhale, we start to lean. And go ahead and just take a couple of these all on your own. Inhale up. Exhale, lean. Go ahead and give me one more each direction. And when you're finished, meeting back at neutral, bring the hands gently on top of the legs. And we're going to move through a little bit of movement through the spine, seated cat-cow. So really focus on the inhale, press the chest forward, shoulders back, chin towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bring the chin to chest and allow a little bit of a curve in the spine. Inhale forward, exhale back. Couple more moving with your breath. And when you're even, bringing it back to neutral. We'll bring the right arm up to the sky. And then as you exhale, bring it over to that opposite knee. Kickstand the opposite hand behind and gently gaze over the back shoulder. Go ahead and turn the gaze. Look over the opposite shoulder, maybe down towards the knee. Bring the gaze back to neutral and then gently unwind. Inhale, left arm up. As you exhale, bring it over to the opposite knee. Gaze over the back shoulder. Gaze over the front shoulder and down towards the knee. Bring the gaze back to neutral, gently unwind. We'll find our way all the way to fours. So really stacking our joints here, shoulders in line with the elbows and the wrists. Hands are nice and wide. Knees are hips width distance apart and the tops of the feet are flat on the mat. We'll inhale, look up towards the ceiling, allow the belly to come down towards the mat. As you exhale, bring the chin to chest. Feel the belly pull up towards the top of the back. Inhale and exhale. One more each direction. Go ahead, bring it back to neutral. Let's take the knees nice and wide to the edges of the mat. The big toes come together. Our bottom comes back towards our heels, and we slowly bring ourselves down to the mat. Now, option to rest the head here. Take a moment to breathe. Rise up ever so gently, and then take that right arm and just thread it underneath. So you're still down onto your child's pose, but we're allowing the arm to come underneath and then gently resting the forehead back down. Rising back up, taking that left arm, thread it underneath, bring the shoulder blade and the forehead back down to the mat. Gently release back out, bring both hands towards the front of the mat, rest the forehead here for a moment. And then rising up back into our all fours, tuck your toes under. No, we're not going up, but go ahead and sit back onto your heels. And what we're doing is we're stretching out the feet. It's been a long day. This is a great way to kind of just give your feet a break. If at any time this becomes not more comfortable, you can always come off of your feet. But we'll stretch the hands forward, interlace the fingers. Bring the palms up towards the ceiling. And then rotate those wrists all the way back down. Remember which direction you went with your wrists. Bring the palms together. Inhale the arms all the way up. And then rotate the wrists the opposite direction, all the way back down. And then bring the hands down to the mat. Bring the toes underneath and go ahead and just kick the feet out. Take a moment there. Let's take the right leg back behind us and just stretch the calf muscle. Option to gently rock back and forth. Slowing the movement, option to bring that leg up. And again, you can point or flex the foot, but really check it out. Make sure that the hip is aligned with the ankle, making sure we're not too high, not too low. Find it right in that middle area. And then option to bring the opposite arm. So maybe you bring that left arm out to the front like you're shaking hands with somebody. Gaze down to the mat. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, bring your knee and elbow together and bring that belly up towards that rib cage. Inhale, stretch it back out. Exhale, bring it back in. Inhale, back out. Exhale, bring it back in. Inhale, straighten it out. One final time, gently bring it back down. Sway the hips side to side. Bring the left leg back behind, stretch the calf. Option to gently rock back and forth. Slowing the movement, bringing that leg up, opposite arm up. Gaze down towards the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, back out. Exhale, back in. Inhale, back out. Exhale, back in. Inhale, back out. One final time. Gently rest the knees back down. Sway the hips side to side. Coming back to all fours, we'll tuck our toes under and bring our hips up towards the ceiling. Release the head and neck, maybe nod the head yes and no. Shoulder blades are moving away from the ears, and we start to walk the feet, lifting each individual heel off the mat, stretching the calf muscle. Press the heels back down towards the mat. And on your next inhale, go ahead and bring that right leg forward in between your hands, finding what we call a runner's lunge. Gaze forward towards the front of your mat, and then gently set the knee back down, untuck the toes. Coming into a low lunge, nice stretch of the hip flexor muscle. Bring the hands down to your sides. Inhale, bring the hands forward, up, and around. And then as you exhale, find your goalpost arms. Opening up, option to gently bend back, but only if it feels okay for your back. Release the hands down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale. Goalpost. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Release the hands down. And then from here, we're just going to take that right arm, gently rest it on the top of the leg. Inhale the left arm up. And then as you exhale, gentle lean to the side. Very, very gentle here. Gently bring it back to center. Go ahead and frame the foot with your hands. Then go ahead and bring the hands to the inside of the foot. So both hands are on the inside of the foot. We're coming into what's called lizard pose. So making sure the knee is tracking over the top of the ankle. The hands are on the inside of the foot. Now you have a couple options here. You can stay here. If you have any props that you'd like to use, you can use blocks. You can also come down to elbows if that's a part of your practice. But the goal here is to just feel a stretch through the hip flexor muscle on the left side and the inner thigh on the right. Let's go ahead and frame the foot with the hands, so gently starting to rise back out of our lizard pose. Tuck the back toe. Find that runner's lunge. Look forward towards the front of the mat. And then go ahead and just walk the toes towards the center of your mat. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the toes and gently bring the toes just ever so slightly in towards the middle of the body. And then allow yourself to just hang heavy. This is wide leg forward fold. Nod the head yes and no. Really just let gravity do its thing here, pulling you gently down towards the mat. Rise up just ever so gently. Try to have a nice flat back here. And then parallel those feet. And we're going to come into a half squat. So we're going to bend in the right leg and just open up the inside of the thigh. Now you can stay here, or you can bring the toes of the opposite foot up, and it's okay if that back heel comes up. The goal is just to stretch the inside of the leg. Gently bring it back to center, parallel the feet, bend in the left leg, find your way down into your half squat. Gently bring it back to center. Ever so slightly pigeon toe those toes and come back into your wide leg forward fold. Walk the hands over towards that right foot. Option to grab the back of the ankle. Gently bring it back to center and then walk the hands over towards the opposite ankle. Gently bring it back to center. And then looking directly down towards your mat, we're going to take our right hand and place it directly underneath us. And then we're going to inhale the left arm up towards the sky. An option to look up to your open hand or down towards your hand that's on the mat, depending on how your neck feels today. Gently release it back down. Switch hands in the center of the mat. Inhale the opposite arm up. Gently release it back down. Walk the hands back towards the front of your mat. Find that runner's lunge. So make sure that back foot is turned and you're on the ball of the foot. And then plant the hands and step back. Go ahead, paddle the feet. Now your next inhale, we're going to switch legs. So go ahead and bring that left leg forward in between your hands. Find that lunge. And then go ahead and bring that back knee down, untuck the toes, find your low lunge. Hands down towards your sides. Inhale the arms down and up. Exhale, goalpost arms. 2 more, moving at your own breath. Inhale and exhale. Release the hands down, frame the foot. Now bring the hands to the inside of the foot. Finding your lizard pose, you might have to bring the back knee a little bit farther back, just making sure that the knee is aligned with the ankle and the knee's not forward of the ankle. Hands to the inside, and again, same option here. You can stay where you're at. You can come down to elbows if you have any props. If you are down on your elbows, gently making your way back up, and then just bringing that foot back towards the center of the mat. Frame the foot with the hands. Tuck the back toe under, find that runner's lunge, and then step back to your downward facing dog. Paddle your feet, lifting each individual heel, and then press both heels back down towards your mat. Go ahead, find your way down to your knees. Bring the knees nice and wide, the big toes together, and instead of coming and bringing the bottom down towards our heels, we're just going to leave our bottom up towards the ceiling. And then bring the hands forward towards the front of the mat and allow yourself to come down, either resting the forehead or the chin on the mat. Gently rising back up into all fours. Tuck the toes under and bring the hips up and back. And on your next inhale, bring the right leg forward in between your hands. Find your runner's lunge. We're going to rotate the back foot to 90 degrees and slightly pigeon-toe. Nice bend in the front leg and cartwheel the arms up into standing. Now, knee tracking over the top of the ankle, heel to arch alignment, back foot's at 90 degrees and slightly pigeon-toed. Back leg is straight. Arms up when we feel ready. Gaze over the front hand, drop the back hand, flip the front hand, reverse. Nice stretch through the side. Gently hinge back forward. The legs have not moved at all. Leave them where they're at. Bring the arm to the top of the thigh, bringing the other arm up over the head. Option to gaze up at that open hand or down towards your foot. And then we're going to take the hand and we're going to bring it forward and down and around. Bring the hand back up towards the ceiling, then bring the hand forward towards the front of the mat. Nice stretch through the side. Bring it back up. And not moving the legs at all. We're going to do a little bit of a flow here, but we're going to go forward first, then back from the two poses we just did. So we inhale, bring the hand down to the thigh, reach towards the front of the mat. As you exhale, bring it back, hand, reach back. Inhale brings it forward. Exhale brings it back. Go ahead and give me one more each direction. And we meet back in our neutral. And then go ahead and straighten the front leg. So both legs are now completely straight. And we start to reach towards the front of the mat and then hinge at the hips and bringing hand maybe down to the shin. Option to bring it down to the ankle, maybe to a block if you have one, down to the mat. And then just really focus on rotating here, gazing up, down, or neutral. Gently rise back up, leaving both legs straight. Drop the back hand, flip the front hand, stretch through the side. Coming back forward, bend in that front leg. And then cartwheel the hands down, frame the foot, rotate that back foot, and then plant the hands and press your hips up and back. Option to paddle the feet, or you can always go down and take a break on the mat. But if you're ready for the opposite side, go ahead on the next inhale, bring the left leg forward in between your hands. Find your runner's lunge. Rotate the back foot to 90 degrees, slightly pigeon-toed, and gently make your way into standing. Bend in the front leg. Track it over the top of the ankle. Back leg is straight, 90 degrees, slightly pigeon-toed, and the arms are up when we feel ready. Beautiful. Drop the back hand, flip the front hand. Hinging back forward, bring the arm on top of the thigh, reach up towards the ceiling. Rotate the hand, bring it forward towards the front, rotating it around. Bring the hand back up towards the ceiling. Then reach towards the front of your mat, through feeling that stretch through the side. Gently rise back up, and we're going to do our flow here. Forward first, bend back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. 2 more, moving with your own breath. Meeting back in our neutral position. Go ahead and straighten that front leg. Both legs straight. Lean towards the front of the mat and then hinge at the hip, bringing the hand down. Arm goes up. Gentle turn of the rib cage. Gently start to rise back up. Both legs are still straight. Drop the back hand, flip the front hand, reverse. Hinge back forward, bend in that front leg, and then cartwheel the hands down, frame the foot, rotate the back foot, press back, hips up and back. Paddle the feet. And then gently find your way down to your knees, coming down onto a seated position. And then bringing the soles of the feet together. Now you have 2 options from here. If you're feeling you need more of a stretch in the hips and inner thighs, bring the feet in closer. If you're feeling you need more of a glute stretch, bring the feet out to more of a diamond shape, your option. Inhale, lengthen, and then as you exhale, start to hinge at the hips, keeping a nice flat back as long as you can. And then on your next exhale, go ahead and release. The head and the neck feel heavy. The elbows can help press the knees down. Gently release back up. Bring the hands underneath the knees. Bring them back in. And then go ahead and just bring them out to a straddle. So you might have to switch the direction you are wherever you are in your house. If you need to use the wide side of the mat. Flexing both of the feet. Really be conscious of your knees. Make sure they're up towards the ceiling or maybe a little bit back, but never forward, okay? So we inhale, lengthen through the spine. We're going to leave the hands where they're at. And we're going to inhale the right arm up. And then as you exhale, just let the hands slide down the leg and attempt to reach towards those toes. And it's totally cool if you cannot touch your toes. I can't touch mine either. Feel that stretch through the side. That is the goal. Gently release. Go ahead and turn towards the leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, start to hinge. Really trying to bring the face down towards that kneecap. Gently rise back up, come back to center, hands on top of the legs. Inhale, left arm comes up. Exhale, start to reach towards the toes. Check out the knees. Notice which direction they're going. Gently come back to center, turn towards the leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, start to hinge. Gently release. Back to center. We're going towards the center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, start to walk the hands forward. You can stay up. You can go to elbows. You can go as deep into the pose as you want. Try to relax. Hold no tension in the legs. Gently release back up. Bring the hands underneath the knees. Bring the legs back in. And then we're going to bring our hands to the back of the mat. Our feet to the edges of the mat. Go ahead and flex the feet and just windshield wiper side to side. Bring it back to center, and we're going to slowly make our way down to our backs. So go ahead, take it down, nice and slow. Hug the knees into the chest, rock side to side. Bring the feet down to the mat. We're going to bring our hands down towards our heels. And then on your next inhale, press through your feet and allow your hips to come up towards the ceiling. The legs are engaged, the core is engaged. It's a straight line from the knees all the way to the tops of your shoulder blades. Gently release, slowly down to the mat. We're going to do that again. On your next inhale, press through the heels, lift up, and then you have the option to stay here, or maybe you interlace those fingers underneath and gently roll the shoulder blades underneath. Something a little bit different. Gently release the shoulder blades out, release the hands, slowly lower down to the mat. Hug the knees into the chest. Bring the heels back down. We're going to lift the right leg straight up to the sky, and then you're going to cross it over. Bring it right above the opposite leg. The hands are going to come to the back of the left hamstring. Flex both of your feet and start to pull the legs in towards the chest. We're going to gently release the hands, but leave the legs where they are for a moment. And then take that left hand and just grab your foot. Take the opposite hand, grab right on top of the knee, and then start to straighten out the left leg. Pulling the leg that's in your hands down towards your chest. Gently release the legs straight out. Go ahead and just shake the legs a little bit. And then bring the heels back in towards the body. And we're going to switch sides. So go ahead and bring the left leg up towards the sky. Cross it over right above the right knee. Take the hands to the back of the right hamstring and start to pull the legs in towards the chest. Gently release the hands, leave the legs where they are. Go ahead and take that right hand, grab the foot, left hand grabs the knee, straighten out the right leg down towards the mat, and see if you can gently pull the knee and the ankle in towards the chest. Gently release both the legs, straighten them out. Go ahead and shake the legs a little bit. Excellent. Go ahead and just bring the knees in towards the chest, and then go ahead and either take your two fingers to grab the big toes, or maybe grab the outside edges of the feet. Pull the legs apart and down towards your mat. And then option to rock side to side. Release the feet back down. Stretch the arms and legs, arms above the head, legs stretching out. One final pose before our final relaxation. And I really want you to embrace your inner banana. So what I mean by that is that we're going to stretch our legs and arms out, And then leaving our bottom and our hips where they are, we're going to walk our feet over towards the right side of our mat, towards that corner. And then take that left foot up and over, rest it on the ankle. And then walk the hands over towards the right side of the mat. The right hand gently grabs the left wrist. So you're just ever so slightly curved. Try to relax, hold no tension. The body is shaped like the banana. Gently bring it back to center, stretch the arms and legs, walk the feet over towards the left side of the mat. Go ahead and take that right foot, bring it up and over on top of the left ankle, walk the hands over to the left corner, left hand gently grabs the wrist and allow yourself to just feel a nice stretch through the whole side, all the way from the ankle up to the wrist. Gently release back to center. Option, bring the arms down to the sides, the feet out to the edges of the mat, allowing yourself to just find some stillness. You can close the eyes. You can always just soften the gaze. Take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, soften the body. We'll do a progressive relaxation as we move through these final moments of class. So bring a gentle awareness to your forehead. Notice if you're holding any tension between the eyebrows, between the eyes and the nose. Soften that area. Soften the cheeks. Maybe gently move the jaw from side to side. Soften through all the neck muscles. Maybe rock the head from side to side. Soften the shoulders, the upper back. Soften the elbows, the wrists, the fingers. Soften the mid-back. The hips and the lower back. Soften the thighs, the knees, the feet, the toes. We'll take a few moments in silent relaxation. Wiggling the fingers and toes. Maybe rocking the head from side to side. Option to stretch the arms over the head. Really maybe rotating the wrists a little bit, the ankles. And when you're ready, rolling to one side and just allowing yourself to rest here for a moment. Option to keep the eyes closed. And then pressing a hand into the mat and then finding your way into a seated position. Bringing the hands down towards your sides and inhaling the arms all the way up. Hands are going to touch, gaze up at the fingers, and then exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Option to keep the hands here or maybe gently rest them on the heart. As we end today's practice, we find a moment of gratitude. Gratitude for anything that's going on in your life that is positive. Gratitude for this wonderful community of Veterans Yoga Project. I thank you so much for joining me tonight. Please visit veteransyogaproject.org for more practices that are available, or continue to follow us online, or to become a monthly donor, you can also check out the website. I bring the hands to heart center and gently bow the head. The meaning of Namaste means that my soul acknowledges your soul. Thank you for joining me tonight. My name is Theresa. I'm at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and I love teaching all of you. Namaste. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to hit me up in the comments section. Otherwise, have a beautiful rest of the week.